As the fourth quarter began, it was hard to determine which team was in greater jeopardy. The Vikings had scored 14 straight points, but they still trailed by 16. And the loser of this game still faced an 0-2 start to their season. Nonetheless, it was the Vikings who would keep their momentum as they began another scoring drive midway through the fourth quarter. Time was beginning to work against the Vikings, but Potter only became more aggressive, this time finding his tight end Clayton Granch over the middle for 26 yards. Granch would haul in just 3 balls on the night, but would average 24 yards per reception in the game. Suddenly, it was the Pirates backpedaling on defense as Potter moved the Vikings' offense. Potter would finish with 83 yards on the ground as both he and Brad Odeman would eclipse 400 yards of total offense on the night. As the game wore on, Potter and Odeman more and more became mirror images of each other. This time it would be Potter evading pressure and finding an open man for a Viking touchdown. Joel Pantu's touchdown reception was the 3rd straight for the surging Vikings, but after a failed 2-point conversion, they still trailed by 10 points. But their momentum was beyond palpable, and they quickly gave the ball back to Potter and the offense. On the ensuing possession, the Vikings faced a 4th and 2 at their own 27-yard line. With 5 minutes left in the game, head coach Brett Peabody made a bold call. But the ensuing play call reminded everyone that boldness itself is a sliding scale. The 31-yard completion to Josiah Blandon only ignited the Long Beach offense further. And on the very next play, they burned the Pirate defense for 6. The 42-yard touchdown pass to Clayton Granch was the 6th of the game for Kenny Potter, and pulled the Vikings to within 4 points. But the ensuing extra point gave the Vikings an unmistakable feeling that perhaps fate was on their side. Matt Mengel's extra point was blocked, but he emerged from the scrum and won the race to the pylon. The improbable 2-point conversion meant that the Vikings now needed only a field goal to win the game. After throwing for over 300 yards and 5 touchdowns, Brad Odeman faced a situation he couldn't have possibly conceived only an hour before. Odeman and the Pirate offense needed to hold the ball and protect a 2-point lead. And Odeman promptly delivered, moving the chains with back-to-back 3rd down completions. After finding McDaniel again, it was the Vikings desperately trying to hold on. The clock every bit as big a problem as Odeman and the Pirates. With just over a minute remaining in the game, Ventura faced a 4th and 2 in Long Beach territory. Long Beach had no timeouts. One more conversion for Odeman and the Pirates, and the Vikings would finally be vanquished. Odeman's pass fell harmlessly to the turf, leaving the Vikings 60 seconds to complete their epic comeback. Potter began the final drive looking immediately for his favorite target, and he found Josiah Blandon. The 19-yard reception put Blandon over 100 yards for the day, but it was a Pyrrhic victory for the Vikings as Blandon injured his ankle and would be lost for the remainder of the final drive. But Long Beach would not be stopped. A date with destiny seemed inexorable. As he had done all night, Potter used his feet and his arm to guide the Vikings downfield. A final completion to Mikhail Parr had the Vikings within field goal range, putting the game on the right foot of Matt Mengel. The block kick preserved the win for the Pirates. A little drama, but mission accomplished. And on to Week 3 against LA Harbor, all even at 1-1 on the season. As for the Vikings, in a rebuilding mode, victories against expectations often precede victories on the scoreboard. But they leave Ventura knowing the real thing can't be far off.